Rene!
Yes.
Welcome to the chair. Welcome to the hot seat.
The chair, the hot seat.
It's back. Question.
Yes.
If you had to pick a pet... Not now! We're closed!
No!
If you had to pick one pet, what would you pick? And what superpower would you like it to have?
Oh. Like from the movie?
No, anything.
Oh, just anything?
Your favorite pet.
Oh, a dog that's invulnerable, so I don't have to worry about it. Just be like, yeah, it's the dog's invulnerable, it's fine.
Walking around.
Yeah.
Going, hey, you know
he
what,
gets hit by a car, you're like, you're good, walk it
Yeah,
off.
yeah, it's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
He
Less
eats,
stress.
what if he eats chocolate? Invulnerability to like chocolate as well?
Yeah, anything that would potentially could hurt it or kill it, you know?
So what, experimental dog? You're going to be like, all right, let's see what you can take.
No, I'm not going to do
Chocolate.
that.
Grapes. Apple.
Yeah.
Alcohol.
A bear! Go ahead, fight the bear.
All right, Rene. Thanks for that answer.
No problem.
You ready to start the podcast?
Let's go.
Woo!
Recording at 12920 Philadelphia Street, Whittier, California at Undercity Comics. Keep It Up with Nerds presents issue 108. I'm Rene.
This is Brian.
And Nick. And welcome to the show! Wow, that was like the least energy we've had. Like,
Okay, we both saw each other earlier this week because we were actually recorded on Monday.
that we did. I forgot about that.
That was a fun bit because I don't think I've ever recorded a show and then had to edit on such a short turnaround.
Yeah.
So, long story short, my computer doesn't render as quickly as it should. So an hour and a half long podcast is about an hour and a half worth of render time. Not only that, but my internet is complete garbage.
Yeah.
So that's 2 hours of upload for about 10 gigabits of video.
Dang.
And then I have to edit the thumbnail. So that was an experience.
Yeah.
That was great. But we got it.
We got
We're
it.
good.
It's up.
And we're addressing the no Nick on the show today.
Yes.
Got busy with work.
He's busy. He's a busy boy.
He's a busy boy. I'm busy too, man.
Yeah.
I
Hey,
just
what
got
about me?
What about me? I'm busy. No, I got to do this. Then I got to go record it. Oh, no. I came out of work. Record this. Then I got to go and guest star on another podcast.
By the time of this recording is up, will that one be up?
No, I'm not going to promise anything. Last time I promised that I was on the show,
Yeah.
they never released the episode. For those who don't know, it's the After Death podcast, Ernie and Chris's podcast. They've done 10 episodes, I think, so far.
Yeah.
And they take about like 2 weeks to edit and compile and everything. So I'm not even going to bother. I'm going to be like, you know what? When it comes up, I'll post it on my socials.
Yeah.
That's it. If it decides to go up, you know, who knows? Maybe they lost the files. Production isn't good enough. I'm not good enough. I don't know, man. Whatever excuse they decide to throw my way this time around.
I might talk you into having me go on that podcast.
Why not?
I will do it. Yeah.
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 All right.
I'm
We'll see.
down. Yeah.
We'll see if they invite. It's up to them. It's not my choice, you know. I'm not the one to say it. What do you want me to do? Like, hey, you're gonna be on
Does
the
this
show.
face care?
All right. Well, I should have thought about this. I really don't have much to talk about in terms of comic strips this
we don't
week.
have much because there's not a lot happened this week.
So
I mean, we did see League of Super Pets, but Nick's not here. Me and Nick saw it.
Yeah.
I would hate to give my review on it without Nick here, at least.
So we'll talk about it at a later time.
Yeah.
Next week we're watching Bullet Train.
Bullet Train.
So that probably won't be a topic of conversation until issue 109 or
110.
110.
109, yeah.
110.
110?
Yeah, because we were watching it next Tuesday.
Oh, that's
So
right.
by the time this releases, hang on.
It'd be 109. Because
You're right.
we're seeing it Tuesday, but we don't record until Friday.
You're right.
Yeah, unless
You're right.
something else happens.
I don't know, man. The timeline's a little bit weird.
It's after Comic-Con, so it's like all the news was kind of like is already out, you know.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It's just that because the Comic Cons, anytime there's a panel, something, right? News tends to not follow it.
Yeah.
That's about it. I think what ends up happening is, like, for this year, for example, right? We had that piece of information that said that Kevin Feige comes out and basically says that, what did he say specifically after Comic-Con?
I think someone either found out what Marvel's deal was, because the biggest question was, like, where's the X-Men stuff for the, at least, phases? And there's no new X-Men stuff. So someone had a theory, or they looked up at, like, their legal contracts. So when it came to Fox, the Fox buyout from Disney, apparently anyone that's basically already in contracts to be an X-Men character cannot be recast until 2025.
Yeah, that's a rumor. That's a rumor.
Yeah.
Right? The other bit of information that came out, because that was the thing, is we said something that kind of ended up being true.
Oh, it was the Young Avengers.
That's right.
Yeah, he is planning something for the Young Avengers.
Yeah, so we theorized that that Monday.
Yeah.
Right? Essentially when we recorded, and then literally the next day afterwards, he's just like, yeah, we're going to do the Young Avengers, and that's something that we really want to focus on. There was no specifications if they were going to do a TV show, if they were going to follow it up with a movie, but all we know is that it's kind of somewhere in the middle of Phase 6.
Now that with Phase 6 out, I saw this really good one of this rumor, or not rumor, but like kind of like how the Kang Dynasty will end and how it lead into Secret Wars. Basically, it's going to be like all the heroes or the Avengers are going to be divided on if they're going to be on Kang's side or against Kang.
Yeah.
And that's where it'll end. It'll end where it's show like where everyone's at during that whole time. So like big decisions will be made by Marvel characters,
Which is fine.
And then boom, we have Secret Wars where everyone's just going all at it.
Which is fine.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
It's fun. But I mean, Doom is going to be there. Come on. You really think that he's not gonna?
I think they are going to try and basically not shoehorn him in, but put
him with respect in there, because he's a huge villain. He's a huge villain. He's an oldie, Yeah. He is. Before we move on with the topics, I do have something for comic strips, though. I just thought of this now, so we'll do this. But before we go into that, just a quick reminder, guys, go check out our website at keepingupwiththenerd.com for all the up-to-date information, knowing when the podcasts come out, any new articles, any new videos. We do have a couple of them that are going to be coming out. Hopefully, Adam, you should be on top of this, sir. All right, I'm calling you out. So there was a little vlog that he did to kind of showcase. It was good. It was a good little bit. It was interesting because I think since it's one of the first videos he edited, it was interesting to see how he wanted to take over that thing, which is just kind of do a walkthrough and do a voiceover what he saw and stuff. Good. It's much different than what most other people do, so it's great. So if you want to see that, his little venture into Comic-Con, go ahead and check it out. They did interview some people that were there, a vendor. They did interview someone there, so it's towards the end of the video. Great video. Go check it out. They will have another interview afterwards with someone that went to the Walking Dead panel, which we did promise in issue 107. That they were going to be talking about the Walking Dead, because someone did attend that panel, talked about The Walking Dead, and got to see some exclusive behind the scenes stuff. So that video will be up on YouTube, but when, you'll have to go to keepingupwiththenerd.com to check out that piece of information. Other things, if you guys are listening to us on YouTube, go check out our audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Podbean. Go ahead and leave us a review. Let us know what you guys think of the show, what we should do, any comments, anything like that. Just let us know. Take us on the go. If you guys are listening to us on an audio platform, head on over to YouTube at Keeping Up With The Nerds. We've got a visualization of the podcast. No episode 73 of Our Real Addiction. There were some complications with that video, so they will be back with episode 74, and all of the 100+ issues of Keeping Up With The Nerds are on YouTube as well, so if you want to check those out, by all means, go for it. Like the video, subscribe, comment down below anything you guys want, anything of what you thought about the video or what we talked about. We see you guys. The what are they called? Not the parameters, but what is it called?
Oh, this the
data.
Yeah. All the
why can I not think of that word?
It starts with an S, right? It starts with an S.
It's like this. I don't know what it is, but we
Statistics?
see you guys. No, it's something else. But we see you guys actually listen to the show. Let us know what points interest you, what you guys want to share, anything like that. Comment down below in the YouTube comment section. Share it, whatever it is, guys. Let us know. With that said, are we ready to start the main issue.
Go for it.
All right, so we're going to start off with comic strips for a bit, right? And I'm going to take this a little bit differently because a lot of the pieces of news that have been coming out have been as interesting. Little speckles, little spit right here, little Feige spit right here, and a little bit of that, all that other stuff. So let's talk about something that interested us this week, something that stood out.
Yeah.
Right? Do you have something you want to kind of think about it and let me talk about my first one?
Is it the one that I told you about?
No.
Okay, so mine is the one where today that Jason Momoa posted a video on Instagram or Snapchat, basically of him confirming that Ben Affleck is in Aquaman 2, The Lost Kingdom.
Okay.
And it was basically, the setup is basically people were taking a WB tour of the lot and the studio tour, and upon taking the tour, Jason Momoa walks out of a set with Ben Affleck, aka Batman, and they were walking off the set, of Aquaman, and I guess they were in a soundstage or something like that. Apparently, they were shooting. People are speculating that it's an after-credit reshoot because of what Warner Brothers is trying to fix after the whole Flash Ezra Miller thing. I guess what's going to happen after that, which is interesting. I think that's really cool that Ben Affleck, they're using Ben Affleck more, and he's agreeing to be part of Batman in the DCEU.
Yeah.
It's not part of the Snyderverse. I don't think Warner Brothers wants to acknowledge it as a Snyderverse.
Let's hold off on that topic because I think that is a big topic of discussion for this issue.
Yeah.
We can expand more on that. But I will say, I do agree with you, right? That Ben Affleck is agreeing to be more a part of it because the last couple of years he said, no, I don't want to be I'm done, right? But he's agreeing to these short-term appearances and stuff, right? I mean, the guy just married J-Lo. The guy is probably on a roll right now, right? It's good.
He's on a high.
Let him. It's fine. He was a good Batman. Everyone that disagrees with it, stop. He's a good Batman.
He is a good Batman.
He's a great Batman. So it's good to see him there. But it is interesting because when you showed me that TikTok, a lot of people were burning WB, Warner Brothers, going like, why is it that they cannot keep a goddamn secret? Why are they just revealing everything else?
At this point, I'm not even mad at it. I'm just kind of like, oh, okay. It makes me more intrigued to see what's going to be the after credit.
I mean, we're not... Okay, because, no disrespect to the DCEU, right? It's its own little franchise. It's there's reasons to be excited for it. Don't disagree with that, right? But I will say that I think that the approach for these two franchises is different. Yeah. No? Because you have Warner Brothers who releases the DCEU stuff, and at this point, unless you're a hardcore DC fan, you're going to be excited for certain things, right? But it doesn't have that same appeal as Marvel does, who is more along the lines of like keeping everything as secretive as possible and then revealing it when the time does come around. Yeah. Like, take into consider this, right? Ben Affleck appearing on stage or in the studio area of the Warner Brothers studio tour, which if you haven't done, it's really cool.
I do want to do that.
It's super cool. But at this point, like, what is there to be excited about? Cool. He's going to be in it. Great. We get that Batman, right? But then we look at things like Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness and what Marvel did, which is not tell us that John Krasinski was Reed Richards. Yeah. Right? So that's the kind of stuff that gets us excited because the moment he came up, you're just like, that's what we wanted. That's what we've been waiting for, right? And there's these little secrets and tidbits that kind of get to spill around, but bring up a little bit of anticipation as well, right? Like, have you seen that TikTok? I think you were the one that sent me, where John Krasinski came on Jimmy Fallon. You sent me that one,
yeah,
right?
I sent you that one, yeah.
And then that rumor was that Emily Blunt was going to be Sue Storm.
Yeah, he's all like, what?
Yeah.
No way.
But now that it's mentioned, it's like, do we want that? Yeah.
Now it's like Kevin Feige just heard that Ryan Gosling wants to be part of the MCU. And even Kevin Feige was like, this is the first I've heard of this. He goes, yeah. He goes, that's no problem. He goes, what other castings do you have?
But Kevin Feige's a master manipulator. He's just kind of like, what? No.
I feel like Kevin Feige would be very problematic in a relationship.
Yeah.
He's all like, wait. He's like, huh? Nah.
What?
Nah.
Babe, you just got home at 3 a.m. What? Me? No.
She's just a friend.
She's
just a friend. Here, I'm going to show you the timeline of our relationship. And I'm going to pinpoint what's going to happen in our future.
We're currently set in phase 5.
Yeah, we're
right?
in phase 5 in our 5-year relationship.
So we got to map this out correctly, all right?
Get a dog, and then we got the madness of the engagement ring.
See, here's where the marriage starts to get a little bit stale. So I'm going to bring in another woman who's just a friend. Nothing actually happens, but the audience will think that something does happen, and then it dips, right? So there's this big dramatic thing that ends phase 7. Then we move to phase 8, and we don't talk about it. The whole thing, that's going to be the divorce paper saga.
Yeah, it's the divorce paper saga. And then this is me with another woman, which is... This is going to be the core part in our relationship. I feel like Kevin Feige is like, he loves it to be like Steve Jobs, where he goes to panels.
The man is Steve Jobs.
Yeah, that's too much credit for him. But
okay, but you want him out already.
He gets off on like telling everyone this is what we have planned, and then just like everyone cheering, and he's just like, yeah. Cheer.
Yeah, but you came on last week saying I'm done with Kevin Feige.
I am done with Kevin Feige.
Well, can you shut up? Like most of us aren't. Most of us appreciate it.
I don't.
Because we're happy with what we're getting.
I just don't believe that we should really take he should be the main person to like do Marvel movies. I feel like it needs to be a shared thing. Like a kind of like how democracy is. You know, I don't think one person should be in charge of everything. You know,
sure.
I feel like you know, kind of like how with the Disney Plus Star Wars series, all those, it's Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. Yeah, I want at least one more person. You know, someone that you can bounce off of.
Okay, that's
kind of like how Keeping Up with the Nerds is. It's not just one person. It's you and me and Nick.
Yeah,
you know?
Sure. And Adam and Miguel sometimes guest starring.
Yeah, but it's just like we all talk and stuff like that. We all plan stuff. You know.
Yeah, that's fine. But that's the thing is, okay. Let's
we all talk about content.
Let's expand on this, okay? You want not just a Kathleen Kennedy, you want a Jon Favreau and a Dave Filoni to go with it, right?
I want multiple people bouncing off ideas.
So why doesn't, because now this brings to question, right? Why hasn't Kevin Feige had a successor yet, or someone that he's training under?
I don't know. That's the thing. I really think he's like, he feels that he's like Steve Jobs.
We've entered phase 10. All right?
Phase 10,
The secret prodigy.
This is it. Phase 10.
He's gonna have this big old event, right? Where like at Comic-Con 2036, right? He's gonna come out and be like, guys, I have a very special guest to introduce to you all. You guys are all excited to see him, right? And then the panel opens up and fog is coming out from the ground and everything. Something underground starts to pop up and it's like Jon Favreau. So again, you know? Not only is
Kevin Feige is just like no. All right.
This brings to the mind another question that came out. It's not my bit for the comic strips, but it is going alongside with yours, right? About the whole Ben Affleck thing. But did you hear that interview that Jon Favreau did where he said that he's tried... I don't know if to believe it if it was in this sense or if it was different, but supposedly... Jon Favreau was not aware that the Russo brothers were going to kill off Tony Stark.
Oh, I recently saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I've seen it in two different ways.
Like Jon Favreau really wasn't up for that.
But I've also seen the side where he didn't know and tried to talk him out of it, but then was kind of like okay with the fact that it was going to happen. Yeah. So I don't know what to believe at this point.
I think it's when people do interviews, they take like a little thing of what they said and twist it. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, because the same thing happened with Elizabeth Olsen when it came to her doing her interview for Vanity Fair. I think it was a lie detector test. She says that she doesn't hang out with Chris Evans anymore because he has a busy life. She has a busy life. And then all these articles came out being like, oh, you know, Elizabeth Olsen doesn't hang out with Chris Evans anymore because, you know, they're no longer friends.
Which is dumb. I mean, that's the whole point of media, right?
Yeah, that's
we try not to here.
It's clickbait.
Yeah, we clickbait the thumbnails.
Wholesome media.
We try.
We try to be funny for you guys.
Well,
to get the ha-has.
Okay, so here's the thing. We can't say that because legally Nick's not here. And legally speaking, Nick is a person that says like, yeah, I make all you guys funny. Yeah, that's what he does. He said it. Episode 71.
I made a whole bit about Kevin Feige being about a relationship.
But Nick isn't here, so
that
you can't
got some ha-has. For sure. Like the video if you did.
it's
double click it.
Then that disables. Oh, the moment you did that, the camera died.
Really?
Yeah. How about this? I gotta let that battery charge for about 5 minutes. Can we do your?
We'll come back. Yeah.
Yeah. So can we just let it run?
Yeah.
With this camera only.
All right.
Do you want it to spin it around so it's on you?
No, that's fine.
Are you sure?
Can just have a picture of me.
You want a picture of you?
Yeah, a picture
just like
of me.
that. Okay, for now, right?
Okay.
Because the camera died and I need to charge the other.
Okay, no
battery.
problem. We'll keep.
How about
going.
this? 5 minutes here, 5 minutes on you. How about that? You want to do
that's
that?
fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You measure it, and we'll leave it like that. That way we can fix it later. What are you doing? Oh, you're
the computer locked.
So that's the thing. Yeah, legally can't be funny. Nick's not here, so he's not gonna allow you to be.
We're legally bound not to be funny without Nick.
Well, because he said in episode 72 of Our Real Addiction, he's just like, yeah, I try to make Brian funnier than he usually is, and I do that by getting him. And I heard.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, I heard. I'm just like, well, all right.
I hear things.
No, but yeah, it's interesting how they kind of like approach different interviews and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
how
different certain sites are like, oh my god, look. You know?
Yeah, basically. Anything else that interested you off of that or no?
Did any trailers come out today?
No, in all honesty.
I've been just kind of like rewatching Breaking Bad. What about you?
I mean, what do you want from my reaction?
Have you watched anything or rewatched anything?
I've been watching Only Murders in the Building.
How is that?
It's good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only reason, so I've been watching it because that's not my comic strip. You asked me, so you know. I'm gonna answer it. No, the only reason I wanted to watch that show is because I'm a big fan of Steve Martin.
Yeah, Steve Martin's great.
And then with Martin Short, that's like classic SNL.
Mm-hmm.
But then you put two classic people from SNL alongside someone who's our age, Selena Gomez. You're like, okay, well, you know, Selena Gomez is great.
You know what's funny? I never really liked her right away. I didn't really buy into her during the Wizards of Waverly Place.
No, she was a child then.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of like, okay.
I saw her in the trailers and like in stuff. I was like, oh.
Yeah, she sells it pretty well.
I was like, okay.
But the best way I can describe that show is the only reason I really got into it, like made myself actually watch it. I was always going to watch it. But we ran into an old friend of mine and her family as well at church. And he asked, I was doing it, my friend's dad. He was like, oh, like, what do you guys do? How have you been doing all this and that? And I'm like, oh yeah, I've been busy, you know, work and podcasting, all this stuff. I was like, oh, you podcast? I'm like, yeah, I have, Keeping Up with the Nerds, and it's just a lot of busy work and stuff like that. Oh, so like that show Only Murders in the Building. And I'm like,
oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
never seen that show.
They do a podcast.
Yeah, it's a true crime podcast. It's really good. I recommend it. I think I'm on episode 4 or 5.
Season 1.
Season 1.
Okay.
I don't want to know anything because it's very. Have you ever read the books? Series of Unfortunate Events?
Yeah.
It's like that.
Oh, really?
It's definitely like that, because Andy said something that was very interesting where she was just kind of like, I don't like any of these characters, but I'm interested in learning more about them. And I'm like, yeah, that's basically a series of unfortunate events. Yeah. What is it called? What are they called? The Boudelaire or the
Boulderiers?
Something like that, right?
Something.
The bourgeois or whatever. The bourgeois.
The bougies.
The Balenciagas. The children, like, you love them because they are who they are.
Yeah.
Right? But it's the family members and relatives that they stay with that you really hate because they're really cool people and they're really good. They're just idiots because Olaf is always there, you know? So it's like that, where each character builds a story. It's interesting. I would say watch it.
Okay.
But my point that I want to bring for comic strips is an interview I actually saw with Dan Slott at Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Screw that guy. I like that guy.
No, he's...
Love to interview him, but screw that guy.
What I don't like, what Marvel's doing now, comic-wise, for Spider-Man right now, is that when the Dan Slott run happened, it was very problematic. He changed up a lot of stuff to the point where you think it's unfixable. And then when Dan Slott left Amazing Spider-Man, Nick Spencer took on as head writer, basically fixed everything, but in the most hilarious way. And fixed a lot of stuff. He fixed the relationship between MJ and Peter Parker, which is beautifully done. And then he fixes the relationship of Spider-Man and J. Jonah Jameson. He fixes Black Cat. And also just like Peter Parker in general, you know, remember he had like Parker Industries. Then come to find out that in Nick Spencer's run, he basically had Peter Parker stripped of his MD.
Yeah. Because
they made a point where it's like, oh, he turned in a paper that was essentially Otto Octavius's paper, and so it was plagiarism.
Yeah.
Essentially, and then they just like, oh yeah, here you no longer have an MD anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's pretty cool. I like that.
So it's kind of like Dan Slott was given the rights to an apartment place, and then they were evicting him and said, you know what, you're done, right? And he's like, well, if I can't have this apartment, no one can. He just starts sledgehammering the entire thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick Spencer did a great job in the first couple of issues. I think that he was a phenomenal, writer in terms of giving us the Peter Parker that we all know. Now, the down in his dumps, but still had some sort of good luck because he's such a good person. Yeah. And let's be honest, Dan Slott, even though he did give us things like Spider Island and the Synderverse and all those, different little verses in the last couple of years, the death of Peter Parker and then giving us Superior Spider-Man, all those ups and downs. Didn't he also write the Clone Saga?
He did Clone Conspiracy, I think.
The Clone Conspiracy.
Yeah, he did that one. And then
he was writing Spider-Man since like the 90s, no?
Early 2000s,
Early 2000s,
yeah, he wrote it for a while. And then now with the new run of Amazing Spider-Man, Zeb Wells took over, and basically Peter Parker and Mary Jane are broken up, but we don't know why. Apparently it's something that Peter did, and MJ's already dating someone else.
So it's back to that.
It's back to the whole thing. That's why I'm like super frustrated with the Spider-Man's run right now. And it's kind of like Nick Spencer did a great job fixing everything. He even called it Back to Basics. That was his original run, and it was really good. And it made me it felt like a new perspective of Spider-Man. And then just like, oh, okay, we're just going to now let a new writer kind of just like,
but it's not number one.
No,
it's not a number one. Yeah. So what's interesting is because in this interview, so I haven't read Spider-Man since they brought back what's his name, Ben Riley.
Yeah, that's
where I stopped. I gotta start reading that again because I feel like it's interesting to see, because supposedly Peter Parker stops being Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was like during this whole story arc where he's has to take on like a nuclear blast, a radiation, and it depowers him for a little bit.
And then Ben Riley takes over.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. So I do want to read that, right? But this interview, it kind of does, because I feel like anytime I talk about Dan Slott, I exaggerate. And Andy's kind of picked that up because she's like, well, you only don't like Dan Slott because you killed Peter Parker. Yeah, I was traumatized, man. Like, to think that my hero basically died after so long.
Yeah.
You know, like Marvel's Wonder Boy is dead. Like, that sucks.
Yeah.
And so I hated the guy. And then he brings us the Spider-Verse and he starts killing off all these different spider people for no reason. Yeah, I'm going to be frustrated.
Yeah, it's the same way. It's the same reason why I don't like Tom King, because he killed off Alfred.
Why?
In the Batman run.
Just because?
Just because. Just to be edgy.
Yeah, like, exactly. So you have that, right? Point being is, he goes on, they do a small little panel, and it's kind of interesting because like not a lot of people are around that little panel in Comic-Con. He's just out there in the middle of the show floor. They're talking and everything. People are wearing Spider-Man shirts. He comes out and basically says that he's taking over Spider-Man, but he's not doing Amazing Spider-Man. He's doing Spider-Man. That's the run that he's going to do. And he's talking about how storylines that are going to be happening in Amazing Spider-Man are going to basically bounce into Spider-Man. So you have ASM and you have Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Those two different stories that are canonical, following the same line. And it's his like fourth or fifth number one that he's had in his entire career with Marvel.
And he's going to be touching back onto Spider-Verse again with Morbius. Or it's Mobius. And
so he talks about that, and he says that his goal is to kill off the Spider-Verse. And in my head, I'm just like, so basically, what you're trying to be is an edge runner. All you're doing is you're grabbing the concepts that people really love, and then just killing it off because you can.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. Like, people are just finding out about the Spider-Verse. This was his own creation.
Yeah.
This was something that the Spider-Verse has technically existed, but not to the extent it did because of Dan Slott. He was the one that brought on these vampire hunters or these vampire slayers that basically fed off of every single Spider-Man's life essence, right? He was the one that expanded all this.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden it's popular, and it's the big reason why we get a Miles Morales movie. It's the big reason why we're able to get all the different universes in the 616 universe now. And he's coming on going like, I'm just going to kill it off because I can. That's stupid.
Yeah.
I don't like the guy, but I like the guy because he brought on some stuff. But I also like, why do you got to be such an asshole about stuff?
He's brought in some interesting concepts.
Yeah.
But at the same time, just keep beating it like a dead horse, you know.
Which makes absolutely no sense.
That's the thing is like, okay, he's coming back for a Spider-Man run, but touching on to the story arc that made him big.
And then killing it.
That's the thing. And like that's from, and those inheritors, those vampires, those live off of like the life essence of the spiders and stuff like that. That was from a run that no one liked, which is Straczynski's run. And that was from an early 2000 Amazing Spider-Man run that everyone didn't agree that was good.
So there is,
but he's using those villains from that run.
There is a bit, okay, in that storyline that I don't think has been touched on for the last like maybe 6 or 7 years, when the Spider-Verse arc came out in Superior Spider-Man, right? Or is it a Superior or is that Amazing Spider-Man? It was like an Amazing Spider-Man run. I don't remember, but it was that run. So do you remember how that arc ended?
I don't remember exactly. I remember there was a character named Ezekiel.
So Kane ends up taking the big blow. Yeah. And he like essentially gives himself up so that the web can become stable, right? That connects all the different Spider-Man. And I think he essentially dies, but the last panel of one of the comic books, he like rips out of the cocoon that he's in. And then we've never seen him afterwards.
I think he's the new, like, it's like the reality web that he's looking after.
So maybe he's going to touch on that.
Maybe.
It'd be interesting. Because Kane was a really cool person.
He could bring in Kane.
Yeah.
The last Scarlet Spider.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Not as Scarlet Spider, but
just as Kane.
As Kane.
Coming back. That'd be really cool. I would love to see Kane back.
Kane Parker? Yeah. It's interesting. We'll keep an eye on it. Yeah. It should be coming out, I think, sometime this year now.
Yeah. I think after the summer. It's like in September.
You know, this is the first time in like a couple issues we haven't talked about comics.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've talked about just comics in general.
It's a weird thing because nothing interesting has happened so far.
Yeah. What sucks is that we have to talk about comics to make it interesting. Like,
I mean, it's like the same thing. It's the unfortunate side of comic books at this point. It's so, you know, not diluted, but there's too much. There's a lot. And so what do you pick out in this book? Like, we can go out to the front right now at the store and see an entire wall of it. It's great. Pick out your favorite comics and read them and stuff like that. You got some great little issues. Like, the last thing that was interesting was the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers versus Godzilla.
Yeah. And then right now, Marvel's doing a new event that has to do with Avengers, X-Men, and Eternals, which is kind of like, because it's like so much backlog. You have to know.
No, you don't.
To get you do.
No, you don't.
In this one.
You want to bet?
No, but I can tell you what it's about. It's called Judgment Day, and it's basically
the end of the Eternals.
Yeah, kind of in a
way.
Really?
I was just joking.
No, it's kind of, but it's not. It's weird because basically the X-Men now they have their own island, and they established themselves that they could. An island. No, but this one's like they created like an alien island or something like that.
It's not Utopia.
It's not Utopia. It's called Croatia or something like that.
Croatia is a country.
Okay, well then I guess they made their own country then, or they live in the country. And see, I don't read X-Men, so but you can see like my enthusiasm behind it. You know, it's like, oh yeah, the X-Men, and then Krakoa or something like that. It starts with a K. I know that.
Okay.
And they've started basically they have brought back so many mutants from the dead they can. Apparently that's something they can do. Like if a mutant, and then like Scarlet Witch.
Professor X is back.
Yeah, he's back. He's been back. That was like one of the beginning ones where they brought him back to life, and the Eternals found out about this, and they think that's deviant-like behavior. So the Eternals are coming after the X-Men because they're able to bring people back from the dead, and the Avengers are kind of like in the middle. They're like, whoa, they did this whole celestial thing, story arc. Apparently the new Avengers like headquarters is Avengers Mountain, which is inside of a dead celestial body. Like that's their new headquarters apparently. Kind of like in Eternals, where there's that random, like basically they have like, oh yeah, we're gonna make a home out of it, you know, like, so that's where they're at right now. And the Avengers basically are like, whoa, don't do anything, guys. They're kind of like in the middle. They're trying to like stop this war from happening.
I guess
Poland. And they're trying to like not have the Eternals attack the X-Men, and the X-Men not trying to attack the Eternals. It's a whole thing. So I'm like, it sounds interesting on paper, but at the same time, I'm like, I just know Marvel's gonna do like, oh yeah, it's subtitle, all these like tie-ins you got to read, all these one-shots, and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, if you want to find out what happens here, go read Avengers issue number blah blah.
Does Marvel not know that you can't do that with these generations of kids anymore?
They don't have the attention span.
You can't. It's like you can't. I mean, for us, we're used to it. We grew up on comics, But like nowadays, it's like, okay, why do you need to keep doing that at that point? No kid is going to come in here and be like, yeah, I need issue 85 of Avengers. I need issue 22 of Eternals. I need this and that and this one shot to get everything. They're not going to do that. They're just going to read whatever's interesting, and that's it. Yeah. The only person they're going to sucker in are the collectors. But even the collectors are now smarter because they're not buying the issues that don't matter to them. Yeah. Especially X-Men. As much as people think X-Men's popular, amongst comic book readers, you only have your hardcore readers and no one else picks up X-Men.
I had a person that came in today and tried to tell me, like, where do you start off with X-Men? I'm like, you want my honest opinion?
You don't.
I was like, don't read X-Men. They go, really? Why? And I'm like, because it started out good with Jonathan Hickman writing it, but then now that he left, Marvel got their hands on it, and it's just like, oh, we're gonna keep it down to 7 titles, and then now it's like over 15 different titles of X-Men. And it's just like, whatever.
It's because you have to follow your different group, and that's the thing. It's kind of like I feel like X-Men is a more convoluted Pokemon franchise.
It's its own franchise, yeah.
Where it's like, oh, if you want these characters, then you have to read this arc here. And if you want these characters, you have to read this one. But your favorite character and maybe another favorite character, they're both in separate books. You're going to have to pick up both to understand what they're doing and then cross over to that one. It's just too much.
I had a guy that came in, he's all like, oh, do you have the X-Men where they get like their powers through trauma? And I'm like, what? And he's all like, yeah, it was like during like the Nazi regime. And I'm like, dude.
So he watched the movies.
So I was like, do you know what titles you're talking about? He goes, no, I just want to start from there. I'm like, that's very broad. I don't know.
I mean, every read always starts off like that.
And I was like, you gotta figure out what story arcs you want to read, and I can see if I can find them for you. But he just wanted something like right there. He's like, he goes, I'm doing research on something and I want to read those books from the X-Men.
It's called Wikipedia.
I was like, or YouTube. You know?
I mean, yeah, that's the unfortunate thing about it is that there are YouTube channels like Variant who are very good at giving you backlogs of certain things to write or read, essentially, right? And to learn more about these characters. They did one on Crypto and Ace, which is a thing that came out today.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. There's channels like that, which are very, very good channels. But that's the unfortunate thing about the comic book world is that sometimes you just got to dive in and hope that you get in a good spot because it's just so much. And, I mean, because here's the thing. I don't want to make it seem like we're assholes for saying it this way. But whenever you get a new number one, you have to tread lightly. There's absolutely no way that you can pick up a number one and expect it to be good. Because a lot of times you get number ones and they only happen because they're trying to make money off a character that just popped up on TV, aka U.S. Agent. Yeah. There were people that were super excited because it's, we're getting a comic book back. And then you get it and it's just like, what happened? Like, you only got a couple issues and that was it. Right? Yep. That's the unfortunate side of comic books, and I don't want to sound like an asshole when I say it, but that's it. Like, you really want to get into a character, find some Wikipedia articles, or look online and something, look where you're looking into, and see where the story left off, and that's where you can start. Yeah. And then just be smart about which books to pick up. It's kind of like, I mean, okay, you said that you used to run card tournaments and stuff at the old store, right? Yeah. Yeah, like that. Like where do you start off in certain cards? Like Magic the Gathering, right? Pokemon is a big one right now. There's so many different packs that you can open up and get into and stuff, and then you're kind of left behind and you have to invest a lot of money into it. It's the same thing with comic books. Definitely. You just got to know. All right, are we ready to get into the main topic of the conversation? Yeah. I feel like this is a very extended version. I mean, there's nothing to talk about this week.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about when nothing really happened.
Yeah, but we'll talk about something right in a couple minutes or a couple seconds because we actually have to fix this camera to get back Renee's picture. So we'll be right back.
Hey, Nick's here, everyone.
Yay.
Brian's excited. We just had a whole ordeal before... I just want to address because you could see it and you could feel the energy,
You feel the energy.
And like, I didn't get that energy.
I just got emotionally exhausted because Nick ripped me a new one.
He did. You guys, I should have recorded it, honestly, but I didn't want to do that. But
slaps the coke.
I just realized I smashed my finger and it bruised the shit.
And now, our feature presentation.
You guys are like my parents, and Nick's just like the disappointed dad and always yelling at me.
I'm not always yelling
am I
at
the
you.
all-loving mom?
Probably, yeah.
I'll take that.
You're the one that's like, you get mad, but like at good reasons. Nick is just always
I
frustrated.
have a legit reason to
Yeah,
be
exactly.
upset
Nick's
with
just
you.
like, why weren't you home on time?
Hold on. What happened was a legit reason to be upset. That was irritation.
Oh my god! I tried to think. I tried. It didn't work.
Yeah, you need to check in with us before you do that. It's the same thing when you think about.
What do you mean that's true?
That's true.
This was on YouTube. No, all of a sudden.
Yes or no? Before
You're just not wanting to. All right, Poland. Relax.
No, before you did what you did,
Oh my god.
you
dude.
should have checked in the group chat and been like, "Hey guys, do we have anything?"
Conflicting schedules.
All
we
right,
have
is
a
this going to be
conflicting
Royal
schedule?
Rumble?
This is
This is going to be
conflicting
Royal
schedules.
Rumble.
This is all
Is that-
it's about. It's conflicting schedules. Just to let you know.
We're going to Royal Rumble
It was
this?
an easy chat.
It was an easy chat. Oh no. Okay, fine. You don't want to start this? All right, we're going to say it this way. All right, easy chat. Check the messages.
Who's been at work all day?
Who kills?
I haven't checked my phone all
You
day.
come to me and you tell me some of us work for money for a living, and you said that, and I remember one of those issues.
those
It was
those
on
words have
point.
never come out of
That
my
is-
mouth.
That is
That
come
word
out of
has
your
never
You
come out of
do
my
not
mouth.
lie to me.
That word has never come. That has never come out of my mouth.
You come to me.
Listen,
and you told me.
If that's how you feel about your jobs, that's not on me.
It's
I have never said I work for a living. What do? That has never come out of my mouth.
You said to me one day, you were just like, some
Issue
of us
108
actually.
is the issue that breaks us.
We're not going to break up after
Listen,
this. It's good content for people.
On
Yeah.
Friday, I specifically went at Norm's after I ordered my
Yes.
lumberjack.
Yes.
I specifically said I will be here late on.
Yeah, see, he did that because he remembered.
That was funny to me that he was just like, I remembered I ordered a lumberjack.
Yeah. You got a lumberjack.
We both got lumberjacks.
Yeah.
Rene got a bigger, better breakfast.
Yeah, I got the two everything.
Yeah, you got the two of everything.
Yeah.
And then I specifically looked at you and I said, "Hey man, I'll be here at 9:30."
Can we just put this behind us?
No, it's funny. How dare you? This is good How dare you?
I just don't want one of us to slip, say something we shouldn't say, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Someone
Something
throws a
we
chair.
can't take back.
Exactly, something we can't take back that breaks the group up forever. You know?
Herbalife sucks.
It does suck. It's a pyramid scheme. I'm not wearing this because of Herbalife.
No,
I'm
that's
wearing because of this. Of the badge.
No, you like Herbalife.
I
That's
hate Herbalife.
Yeah,
I've never had
that's-
Herbalife. I heard Herbalife gives you diarrhea.
You know what the funny
The
thing is?
diarrheas.
You know, I actually was brought in to do Herbalife once.
Really?
Like they actually, like a buddy of mine, before Herbalife was like big and he was like still pretty small. Somebody brought me in, and then the guy was like, "Oh, you know, if you were a man, you'd sign up." That is literally his
Should
sell
have been like,
tactic.
well, good thing I'm not.
Yeah.
So that happened to me with the
That was his
gym,
sell tactic. I
but
was like,
a,
what?
Yeah, like a gym was like opening up like an LA Fitness somewhere.
Uh-huh.
And I was just walking by and guys like, oh yeah, you know, you'll definitely get a girlfriend, man, if you start going to the gym. I'm like, F you, first of all. Like, 4802. And I just walked away. I was like, that guy was an asshole.
He's like, listen, I'm here to be
4811.
He's like, listen, I'm here to be healthy. I need no help in that department, all right? They're lining up outside. They love the nerdy.
They love the chubby nerd.
They love the chubby nerd. And it'd be the ones you surprised about.
I'm charming, okay?
Huh?
I'm charming.
That's your selling point. That's fine. You know, we all got qualities, right?
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nick just undermines me all the time.
Okay,
but
let's
it's
again.
we don't want to start this
Yeah,
again. Okay,
no.
that's it.
Brian
Can we
has
fill
bad
you in on what we
communication
talked about?
skills.
Can we move on?
What?
Can we fill you in on what happened? Can we tell you what we talked about?
I'm assuming you just talked about how you didn't.
No,
check
all we
in
did
with
is
everybody.
comic strips. All we did is comic strips. That's it.
What? Sorry.
We mentioned Kevin Feige.
Kevin Feige talking about how
He loves to like be like the Steve Jobs of Marvel.
yeah. And then we talked about Dan Slott being Dan Slott.
Yeah.
And then that's it. We wanted to talk about the Snyderverse, but now that you're here, we get to talk about League of Super Pets.
Yeah.
Are you happy now? Oh, did you tell me you hurt? Okay. How was League of Super Pets, guys?
It was okay.
It was pretty good.
Honestly,
And that concludes the review of League of Super Pets.
I went in with like very low expectations.
I think everyone does.
Like I went in thinking I'm probably not gonna like this movie, and I walked out with like, oh yeah, it was pretty good. He just picked up. He just got pizza floor. This guy got a pizza floor.
I'm banned from pizza. So,
You are banned from pizza. Somebody who doesn't check
Someone doesn't read the messages. All right.
Could have called me.
It was really dry.
Nick, the last time I tried calling you, your phone was off. Don't even come at me with that.
You got a hold of
And
me.
then I said, hey, you know what? Let's be nice, because Nick's car had like a freak out. His steering
wrong with
wheel
that?
came straight off.
He got rammed by a semi.
Weekly.
Dude, we looked at last night we looked at the thing, like he got hit hard. Like, he can't even
I saw
roll
it
down
from
his
afar.
window. Yeah, he can't even roll down a window now.
No, I know.
Yeah. No, it's pretty bad.
Did you buy lotto tickets?
No.
Should have.
My luck has already been bad this week.
See, if he bought the lotto tickets, he would have got the $1.2 billion and then ran off and not invested in keeping up with the nerds.
Hell yeah.
Not invest. Wait, is that an agreement? If one of us wins the lottery, we have to invest and keep up with the nerds?
I would invest.
I would too.
Yeah.
I would get a
2 out of 3 people are
studio.
actually committed, but you know. Yeah, exactly. 2 out of 3 people are committed. The one person who isn't just gets mad at everything.
Really
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
If you got $1
Over
billion,
there.
what would you do with it?
Nothing.
Sit on it.
Yeah, he'd literally put it
Crypto.
into like,
Just kidding.
he'd make it into a chair. He'd just sit on it.
Yeah, why not?
I'm gonna sit on $1 billion.
I've never seen Game
right
of
now.
Thrones, but I'll buy the Game of Thrones chair.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on. You
That
never seen
seems
Game of
uncomfortable.
Thrones?
It does seem uncomfortable.
You've never seen Game of Thrones?
No, I don't like that kind of stuff.
Why?
Because it's medieval stuff. It's not my thing.
It's because women are
It's all
naked.
begging doggy style. No,
What?
that's all it is. Like all the sex in that, it's just doggy style. For some reason, George R. R. Martin likes doggy style.
It's the most intimate of sex.
That's weird. Can we get on to the normal
You're
topic?
so like
of-
disconnected during that.
Can we move on to
'Cause we
nicer
get to, like,
topics?
spit on her back and everything.
Okay. Moving on. Moving on to nicer topics. League of Super Pets. The sense is it's good. It's fine. Whatever.
Wait,
Yeah.
you want us to go from Daenerys and spit on the back to Leo Super?
No, I'm trying to avoid the conversation of
No,
spitting on
see,
people.
doggy style. Now we're gonna talk about dogs.
Oh, see, that's a better segue. You want more pizza?
I'm good.
So how was League of Super Pets?
It was actually really good. The Rock was really good as Crypto.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't all for Ace as
Kevin Hart?
yeah.
It
As
just doesn't
big
make
voice,
any sense.
But he did a really good job.
Because
He did a
Ace
solid
is
job.
supposed... Huh?
No, he does a great job, but that's because Kevin Hart knows how to be he knows how to be the straight man.
I mean, not wrong. It's just kind of weird because my method or my way of thinking is Crypto, yeah, obviously. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Buff guy, super strong. Does anything, right? He wants to be the superhero. Ace is Kevin Hart, short guy. That's his gimmick. He's short.
Yeah.
He was also a Black Adam in the movie too.
Was he?
Yeah. So there was an after credit where he was playing Black Adam.
Kevin Hart?
No, it was Dwayne.
Oh.
And then he was playing Dwayne. He was playing Black Adam's dog. So it was like 3 different roles he was doing at one scene.
So what was Black Adam's dog?
it looked like he was just like
He was just
like
a-
a hound, a bloodhound or something.
Well, what's his name?
Oh, I forgot. I don't even know.
Adam,
Black
Compound?
Sparky.
cheesy. This pizza's pretty cheesy, actually.
Jesus Christ.
Bro. It's Costco, man.
I haven't had a Costco pizza in a while. I forgot how good it was.
I love how we're just derailing from the conversation again. Nick just came in here, chose violence.
I chose anarchy.
He chose anarchy. Suffer.
Well, this is what you get, Brian. This is what you get.
I'm gonna make you as late as possible to whatever you have to do after this. Anyway,
But I think the one I
ahead.
told you earlier, the one disappointing thing about the movie is that they really depowered the Justice League, and they really made Batman a meme of himself.
But that's the thing that I told you, right? Is that it doesn't make any sense to make the Justice League as strong as they are because it's a kids movie. You have to give these. Okay, why are you shaking your head, Nick? Tell me why. Tell me why you disagree with me yet again.
No, because for one, you didn't show up, and then to watch the movie. So then you'd know
That's true.
that. Then you would know that it's not that they were that Batman was depowered.
That's
Batman
not what I
was
said.
made into just this like caricature of himself. A lot of the Justice League were. They were just made into caricatures.
Yeah.
And it's not just like depowering them. It's just them making terrible choices in general.
That's not what I said. But
That is what you said. I will throw pizza at you.
throw it. Go ahead. At least
Don't
I'll
throw
eat
the
it.
pizza.
I was.
Don't. I know. That's why I said don't throw the pizza. Because I knew you were going to throw the pizza.
All right, Mom.
He's your wife.
Keeps me in line.
This issue, people are gonna be like, "What the heck did Brian
This is a
do?"
chaotic issue.
That's
honestly.
fine.
It started out with us. We weren't really energized as well, too.
I was energized.
No, we weren't.
You weren't.
I
No,
wasn't.
You weren't either.
Told you.
I haven't even
Comes in
listened.
criticizing.
I haven't even listened to it.
Oh, we even talked about you're going to criticize the first half of this
Criticize
episode.
every bit of it.
What do you making me sound like? I criticize everything you do.
Because you do. You literally went on Our Real Addiction, and literally the first words out of your mouth were something about me, and how disappointed you were in me.
No,
I was like, "What the heck, dude?"
Dude, you have some like deep-seated stuff. That was not. The
I
first
do
things
have
out of my mouth.
deep-seated stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're like paraphrasing. Like some crazy, like this is like crazy girlfriend stuff. Like, I'm not gonna lie, you're acting like a crazy girlfriend right now. Where it's like, where I said, Brian had it late, and then you were like, oh yeah, he called me an idiot. I'm like, what? No, that's not what I called you at all.
Called me a goddamn bastard.
Like you're making it sound so much worse than it was.
Because it is in my head.
In your head, yeah.
Yeah.
You are. Oh man, you're that in the relationship, aren't you?
Sometimes I just want to be loved and not yelled at.
Okay,
Right?
so anyway, League of Super Pets.
Oh my god. We don't care about your little story. It's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. No, but
League of Super Pets. No, Kate McKinnon actually does a really good job as the villain, as the guinea pig.
the evil guinea pig.
Yeah, Lula.
Should we talk about who? Because the cast is pretty good.
Yeah.
The problem is that they do nothing with it.
Really.
They don't do with like the Justice League. Like they have some like really big heavy hitters inside of the Justice League, and they don't do anything with it. Like Batman is Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. I thought I was going to expect more out of that.
Who's Clark Kent?
John Krasinski. Jim.
Oh, what about Wonder Woman?
I don't remember. Not only that, but also because they use a really cool version of Aquaman. It's the one with him with the hook.
Yeah.
When he has the hook for the ham.
Oh yeah.
Like one of like the dumbest things I saw him do was there's a scene where Aquaman is inside of a fish tank, and they've like captured him, and he's like, "You will pay for this. I will get out of here." And then all of a sudden, like he goes, "Ooh, fish food," and then like they're pouring fish food into it, and he goes, "Oh, someone was hungry, weren't they?"
What?
That is legitimately a scene in the movie.
So who does Kevin Conroy play? Because he was the secret character. Do we know?
No, I didn't hear him.
I didn't hear Kevin
I didn't
Conroy.
hear
Yeah,
Oh,
Kevin
okay.
Conroy's in there, but we don't. I haven't seen anything that says what he was supposed to be.
Or
Oh,
like there
Diego Luna was Chip.
Who's
was
Chip?
he?
Yeah.
Who's Chip?
The squirrel.
I couldn't have told that. I would not have said.
Yeah.
What?
That did not sound like him.
Mark Maron was Lex Luthor.
What about Kevin Conroy?
There's no Kevin Conroy.
Huh.
He's not listed in the initial casts.
I don't know.
I will say I've been wanting to watch this movie. I would have gone if I didn't have
Vanessa
other
Bayer,
things.
She was PB.
But now I'm scared to go.
Why?
Well, because ever since Nick joked about my mustache and saying
yeah,
like,
we
"Oh,
said
you
that
walk
at
in,"
Norm's.
yeah, I'd be like,
What'd I say
"Yeah,
you
no."
were?
That,
remember you said that we're gonna let Brian walk in first by himself because he has the
Oh,
mustache.
That's a good joke. That's a solid
See,
joke.
this is the stuff. This is the stuff I'm talking about.
Did I say that on the podcast? Or did
No,
I say
he
that-
didn't. He said it away.
He said it at the restaurant.
Oh, I said it at the.
Yeah.
So when we were eating at Norm's, and we were trying to make plans to go see SuperPets, I was like, oh yeah, let's go see SuperPets. But me and Rene will wait behind Brian, and we'll just let him walk in, so that way all the parents kind of look at him and go, "Why is that weird dude with a mustache gonna watch this movie alone?" What a creep.
And we're just going in holding hands.
Yeah, and then me and Rene would walk in holding hands, skipping, and they're like, "Aw, look at those two fat dudes."
They're like,
Aren't they cute?
That one's a power bottom.
So would you recommend this movie?
I would recommend this movie. It's a cute movie for both family and also couples as well too.
Yeah.
I think Andy would really enjoy it, honestly.
If she has time to watch it.
Yeah.
You know what? This is a good movie to watch streaming, I feel.
Yeah.
Because even if you weren't paying attention, like, okay, I showed up a little bit late. I showed up like maybe like 5-10 minutes late. I missed the first 5 or 10 minutes of the movie, and honestly, I was fine.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait,
it's a
both
movie.
of you guys missed the first 5-10 minutes?
No, I showed up maybe like
was
before it was going to start, like 3 minutes before it was going to start. And
I was waiting for my Slurpee.
Yeah, people were still coming in. And you can tell that this movie's not like, you have to see this movie. Because I thought they were going to do a lot of DC jokes, and they kind of did. But it was more background stuff. That's
I
the
mean,
thing.
it's Crypto and Ace. Like, what are you missing out on? These are dogs that are just...
One of the best jokes is that when Lex Luthor gets taken to prison, in a newscast, it says an actual rich person is going to jail.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rich guy actually goes to jail.
Yeah. And I was like, dang.
Or the one who stole the show for me is Marvin. Or Morton. Morton stole the show from me. It was
Which
the
is
turtle.
the turtle, yeah.
The turtle, where he was like, he's because he basically has the powers of the Flash now, and he's like, update. I can run really fast, but I still can't see. And then he just says,
that was Natasha, the girl from Orange is the New Black.
That's who Morton is?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes so much sense. But anyway, it's so funny because he's cursing the entire movie. Or technically she. But yeah, they're cursing the entire movie.
Yeah.
Because like he runs really fast in the middle of a battle and then he just takes off. And then you just see him go, where the F am I?
Yeah.
But he actually says the F word and you're like, oh my God.
But they bleep it out.
They bleep it out, but I'm like, that's amazing.
So the thing I was talking, because Rene mentioned
It's a
that
solid
earlier
joke.
before we started recording, he's just like, yeah, that was probably the best character out of the entire movie. I'm like, well, if they did super speed, then he has to have the Speed Force, right? But does he not?
Technically no, because there are other speedsters that aren't connected to the Speed Force inside of the Flash.
Okay.
And his is given to him by orange kryptonite, because the entire MacGuffin of the movie is orange kryptonite.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So orange kryptonite gives you powers, but the thing is that
it only gives pets powers.
Yeah, it only gives animals powers.
And Ace has the power of invulnerability or whatever.
Yes.
Which was funny.
Which is basically he's just a meat shield.
He's just a meat shield.
That's honestly
basically
what
Kevin Hart.
No, that's literally what they use him for. The one that was really funny was the kitten.
Oh, there's a kitten. There's like the henchman of the evil guinea pig.
Yeah,
it's really cute. Like this kitten can like form weapons from its fur and stuff like that.
So it has like its tail turns into a rocket launcher. It just starts blowing up cars.
And it's a cute little kitten voice that's doing it too.
Yeah, and then they do what was it? Fur balls or grenades?
Yeah, when it hacks up a fur ball, it's a grenade and stuff.
And then you see him like throw it at Ace and Crypto, and then as it's coming at him, you just see both of them, and then Morton goes so fast that he slows time, and so he runs, gets some lettuce. He runs around. He finally goes over and then he grabs it. Then he drops it off in front of the kitten. Then he's like, bye-bye. Like basically flips him off.
Oh, David Diggs is Cyborg.
I still don't understand why they gave him half an afro.
Yeah.
Half a what?
Half an afro.
So they gave Cyborg. They showed Cyborg in the movie, and he has like, you know how he has like half a hair.
Yeah.
Because it's like.
But he's always shaved. He's always like bald. He's always has a bald
They
head.
gave him half an afro.
Which I was like, that's weird. That's a weird choice.
I'm like,
Wait, can you pull up the Justice League image and just show it to him?
Oh yeah.
Just pull up what the Justice League looks like. But but I have to admit the kitten is hilarious. Lula is funny as heck. I like the relationship between Kevin Hart and Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
They're brothers at this point.
Yeah, that just makes sense. I think the only thing I didn't like was when Batman was on the screen. That was it. That was the only thing that like didn't make sense to me. Because Batman was just like in the middle, like nobody was even talking about it. Something would happen and then he would just go, "I miss my parents." And you go like, "What? What does that have to do with anything? Like what?"
It's just a gimmick. That's the thing is that we can't, at least the way I would want to see it is I'm seeing this as a kid's movie. It's not supposed to be full of DC Easter eggs and, things that kids might not understand. The expected age group is anywhere between 5 to 10 years old?
Lego Batman.
Yeah, that's what I got the vibe of.
But
So
Lego Batman's clever.
So look at that cyborg.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
That's weird, right? Like it's a weird look.
Yeah.
And they chose Jessica Cruz
Which I'm fine with.
as Green Lantern, which is like okay.
Yeah. I thought
Wait,
Batman's
is the
suit
Batman
weird.
logo yellow? The yellow outline?
No, it has a yellow outline.
Yeah,
to
So
it.
they went with the
Rebirth.
The rebirth
Yeah.
one. That's interesting.
Same thing with Superman. Watch.
I'm not gonna
So
lie.
this is Wonder Woman. They made Wonder Woman really thick. You can
Yeah, they did
see
make
her
her
like
really thick.
she has like big arms. and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what? Honestly,
And
you know who would have been better as
Superman,
Batman?
the black behind the S.
Yeah, for Kingdom Come.
Mm-hmm.
His Kingdom Come suit. Yeah,
Oh, that's Lula.
that's Lula. You know what? You know who would have been really
From
great as
Lex Luthor.
Batman?
Hmm.
And I actually think it would have worked better instead of Keanu Reeves.
Hmm.
Nathan Fillion.
Oh yeah.
Make Nathan change out
can't
Keanu
do-
Reeves.
Oh.
Change out Keanu Reeves. Put Nathan Fillion to give that whiny kind of performance of Batman.
I feel like you have fans more as him as
Green Lantern.
Hal Jordan.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But I
but
agree.
he has that character and he can make it funnier.
I agree with Nick on this one because if you do put Nathan Fillion into as Batman, you have that Easter egg of like him always voicing Hal Jordan, and then
Yeah.
he could be like, "Oh yeah, I used to fly planes" or something like that. Small little Easter egg
So
that
you
would
can
make
do
it
something.
interesting.
Yeah, that like the Aquaman's really weird. He just kind of looks like a jerk.
Yeah.
He just kind of looks
they,
like a
they
jerk.
gave him like the same complexion as like Jason Momoa.
Yeah, like they
I
just made
see.
fun of Jason Momoa about it. It was weird. It was kind of weird. The Flash is non-existent.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
Like, because that's the thing though is that the Flash has some great one-liners. Lex Luthor doesn't really have much going on for him either.
You know who I love to see as Lex Luthor, who would have played it well, is Rainn Wilson.
Who?
Rainn Wilson, Dwight.
Oh,
I feel like that would have been a better Lex Luthor.
if you're gonna go cheesy, see that's what I'm saying though is that I feel like Lego Batman had simpler jokes, but they were clever, and that's what made it more enjoyable. That's what made it more fun. I feel like this was very much a simple movie.
Like I said, so Lego Batman is a clever movie because I think it knows who its audience is, which is it could be young adults and adults like us because who still doesn't play with Legos, you know? And then League of Super Pets, it's a kids movie aimed at kids, and the people that are going to go watch it are probably going to be family members or families with 5 to 10-year-olds in the party, and maybe the occasional fan of DC wanting to see what they talk about in terms of Crypto and Ace.
See, but the thing is that what I told Rene was I don't understand why they just didn't instead because literally the Justice League get taken out in like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like the Justice League barely put up a fight in this movie. All they needed to say so that way they didn't do that was the Justice League are off world. That's all you need to say. That's like literally if you just go Justice League are off world and like no one's here to protect Gotham or to protect whatever city, then okay, that makes sense.
I think you're not the only person to argue that because I feel like other reviewers have kind of said the same thing where it's like the premise of the movie is a little weak, where the setup just doesn't make any sense for a lot of people because it's just kind of like here's a setup, here's how they get to the point where they need to get to, the wacky adventures happen, and then the end. And that's basically like the premise of the movie.
Olivia Wilde was Lois Lane.
Nice.
So to kind of wrap up this topic,
Yeah.
Who was Steve Buscemi?
Steve Buscemi was Parents Will Appear, the Steve Buscemi kids joke. I don't know.
any final thoughts on this movie?
If you got kids or if you're looking for a good date movie, you know, a good movie where you don't have to pay attention for most of it, you know, I honestly, I think this is a perfect choice. That's honestly what this movie is. Like, I was really contemplating whether or not I wanted to go get a refill in the middle of the movie.
Yeah, I was really thinking because I didn't get any snacks. I was like, should I just wait or can I go right now? Would I miss anything?
Honestly, now that I've seen it, no, you wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I could have filled you in. Because he filled me in, which I thought was actually a cute premise of... The premise of the movie is that Crypto has been with Clark since the very beginning.
Yeah. Since the destruction of Krypton.
Okay.
Like when Clark was shot out into space, Crypto joined him.
Okay.
Like they put Crypto there, and so he's had Crypto since he was a little kid. So technically, Superman hasn't been alone in this version of Superman. He's always had Crypto, but Crypto has only had Superman. So Superman has already socialized. He's made more friends, and Crypto is very much the Superman is my only friend. He's the only person I need. He's a Joey.
He's Joey.
Kind of, yeah. Where he's just annoying.
Dare you socialize with anyone? Don't you? Don't you ever? Don't come back.
That's because you spoil that dog.
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
It's not me. Oh my god. Yeah, and then Rene was telling me that Ace has like a very sad like origin story.
Yeah, his backstory.
Well. Yeah.
I couldn't believe that they went with the what was it? With the oh my god, what's her name in the Jessie.
Yeah, that's what I told him. It was like a Jessie.
It felt like Jessie. It felt like
from Toy Story 2.
From Toy Story 2. Like it was a simpler version of Jessie's of what Jessie happens to Jessie in that movie. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting idea of like Crypto's always kind of been a hero and everything. I do kind of wish they would have went more with the whole, because Ace gets introduced in what was it, Batman Beyond, and it's really cool because it's Batman's already he's pretty frail, and he goes out and he goes through a alley, and as he gets jumped, Ace he's a street dog.
That's the Batman Beyond origin story.
Yeah, where he's a street dog, and then Ace takes down the mugger, and he helps Batman fight, and then he goes, "Oh, dang, this is a dope dog," and like he takes him in.
Dope dog.
Yeah, dude. And
Yo,
like,
Alfred, this is a dope dog.
But that's kind of like, but that's like the main thing. But I always thought that was really weird because like also Keanu Reeves did a weird
Bruce
thing.
Wayne always takes in strays.
Yeah. You would.
You're an orphan dog.
Come with me.
He just got no family. Just come with me.
Just walks up to him and he's just like,
"You got kids?
Do you have parents? If so, I could take care of that." just
No parents, just like me.
No family.
No, I just thought it was because that was also weird too, where he's like, I don't work with anyone except for Alfred, Commissioner Gordon, Robin, other Robin,
Robin 3,
Red Hood, then other
Girl Robin,
Batgirl,
yeah,
Batwoman.
He's just listing them off.
Yeah,
does he really in the movie?
And then like there's like a long circle camera angle.
Wait, that's not a bit. He actually
No, he
lists
does that.
is
Yeah, so he
legitimately
starts off.
a
He goes
joke.
like Jim Gordon, and then the camera pulls out, and then it
And they're
circles-
fighting.
Yeah,
And they're fighting.
They're,
Everybody
they're
else is
fighting the
fighting.
final battle, and so then it circles back to Batman.
And
he's all
still-
Batwoman, Batgirl. He's all
That's genius.
yeah. That was
That's
great.
pretty cool.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It is. It's kind of okay. I didn't think it was funny, but that's.
You were really annoyed by it. Yeah.
I was by
As
the
a
end
Batman
of it.
fan, I can't stand this joke. I can't stand it. All right, relax.
No, because you can make Batman so much cooler. I hate when people.
He's
make
already cool.
He was if you
Jesus,
did
man.
the exact same type of Batman in the Lego Batman movie in this one, I would have loved it even more. But I think because they didn't want to copy that, they went a more meme kind of Batman.
Yeah, well, I mean, Lego Batman, that version's a great Batman, but he's still a
it's
jokester.
Will Arnett's
Yeah,
amazing.
exactly. All right, so can we talk about more DC stuff?
Sure.
So we'd mentioned earlier how Ben Affleck was leaked as, you know, the individual who, or as the Batman that's going to be in this new Aquaman movie, right?
Did you talk about how it got leaked?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
did.
mentioned that in the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
About Jason Momoa
Yeah.
being an idiot.
Yeah. So this brings to mind, right? 'Cause
Just him walking
Yeah.
into his
It's
trailer.
Like, what are the repercussions of like Warner Brothers if you get leaked stuff compared to how like Marvel?
don't do it
is?
again.
No.
No. Don't do this again.
No.
Stop it. You're gonna be
Marvel's
fine.
like, ah!
Oh God! I leaked it. Marvel's coming after me.
Yeah.
No, dude.
Can you imagine that moment, like when Mark Ruffalo was live streaming Ragnarok at the
Dot
premiere?
just goes in his forehead, dude.
Like
I don't know what genius marketing exec told a 45-year-old man to go Instagram live
right
and then expect him to know how to turn it off.
on Instagram.
That's his punishment. His punishment is, look, you leaked some stuff. We're gonna do She-Hulk.
No.
We told you.
We're gonna do shit.
You're done. You're done.
Listen. You could have had a good career.
Bringing in your cousin.
We get it. Paramount still has the Hulk. We were gonna bring you in,
Yeah.
but it sucks. It sucks, but you could do better next time.
You know that standalone movie you've been asking about?
Get out of here.
No, dude, I'm telling you right now.
It's
Literally,
either that or you're pink.
literally there was somebody off camera, and as soon as Jason Momoa did that, and he was like, "Oh no!" There was somebody literally went, "Here you go, just here's more money. Just thank you for helping us sell this movie."
Yeah. Like,
Because we had the Amber Heard thing, so we were
my man.
my man. No, yeah, it was one of those things of like we have Amber Heard scandals. We got
Ezra Miller. We
Jason.
We need a win.
We need a win right now. How does Batman show up in Atlantis? I don't know.
Got it.
That was yours?
Yeah. Well, not that. I just don't want stuff to leak. Because he was holding it all over the place.
Just like
Not in front of the camera.
I got the 3 numbers.
What?
I was facing it down.
Okay, just making sure. Anyway, the thing that comes to mind. Yes, stop. Stop. We have like 12 minutes left.
Don't want to worry about his car.
Yeah. Oh, God, whatever.
Keys are gone.
Okay, great.
They're in pizza.
Cheese pizza.
The question this brings to mind is, okay, so we were talking about how Ben Affleck is supposed to be in this new Aquaman movie, right? But DC and Warner Brothers have already said, we're not doing the Snyderverse, right? So this brings to question, and I guess is the last topic for this issue, is what is the Snyderverse, and why is Warner Brothers so keen on the fact of it's not going to happen?
I don't know what happened with Warner Brothers and Zack Snyder to make them so like resentful of like continuing on with his universe. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was something that we don't know, we never saw. Maybe he was fighting the studio constantly when it came to making Justice League.
Could be some backstory stuff. Yeah. We have no idea.
But it could also be, because this is the way I see it, right, is that I don't think that it's any bad blood. I just think that there's too many small connections that can't make it move forward as much as it should, right? Because that's the thing is Snyder hasn't said anything in terms of like, Warner Brothers is a crappy, studio to work with. Like, I think a lot of people that do end up working with Warner Brothers have at some point said that Warner Brothers is a little bit shady and a little bit kind of like on the side of not understanding how production should work. They just fund anything and hope to God that it works.
Unless you're Nolan.
Well, even Nolan has criticized Warner Brothers. He criticizes Legendary more than anything.
He criticizes Legendary, but I think he was more mad when they were like, maybe we should put Tenet in
HBO Max?
on HBO Max instead of doing a theatrical release.
I made a cinematic movie. I made a movie, all right?
A movie that should be
dude, honestly,
appreciated in theaters.
I guess that's what you can call Tenet, but yeah.
Tenet was a joke. I'm sorry.
Dude, Tenet's it's bad when even your lead actor goes like, I had no idea.
It's bad when you watch it twice and you're just like, what did I watch? I don't remember. You have to watch this backwards? No, I'm good.
You gotta watch it like legitimately reverse.
Yeah, you can watch that movie in 2 times speed and still probably not understand it.
It's a totally different movie when you watch it reverse.
Oh yeah.
But that's the question that comes to mind, right? Because my belief is this: I think that Warner Brothers is separating itself from the Snyderverse because it does not want to be connected with those small tidbits, specifically Ezra Miller and everything that's been going on over there.
Well,
but
I think that's why they're doing the reshoots.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they are moving forward with the DCEU that currently exists with the cast of characters that are still there. They're just not calling it the Snyderverse. Because if you do, then you have to bring in Zack Snyder as some sort of executive producer.
But also I think what their original plan is that Batman is going to be your connective tissue to everything, just like he was originally.
Yeah.
We're going to use Ben Affleck as our connective tissue. He's going to be our Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Or Nick Fury or Tony Stark or whoever you want to pick from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But he is going to be our through line. Now, once we connect these things, it's going to lead to Barry. And Barry is going to reset things, and maybe we'll keep the same characters, maybe we won't, but what we can do after that is we can etch or sketch a lot of stuff.
Now,
so we can go Zack Snyder's, we can change the entire universe and say this is a new history now.
So is what's his face's name? Is Aquaman coming out first?
Aquaman is coming out before
Flash.
The Flash.
Yeah.
Because Aquaman comes out next month, doesn't it?
Let's see.
No way.
I thought it comes out.
But there hasn't even been a trailer, has there?
Yeah, there has.
It's been a teaser.
It's been a teaser. Isn't it like it's either next month or in September?
No way.
And it comes out 2023.
Does it?
Yeah, it got delayed.
March 17th, 2023. I think I think if anything, Shazam comes out in Christmas. It comes out in December before.
So it's Shazam, then it's Aquaman, and then we don't know what happened with the Flash.
But Shazam's not even a part of the Snyderverse.
Yeah, he is.
Technically.
No, yeah, he is. And, Black Adam.
Oh, Black Adam comes out.
Black Adam comes out at the end of the month. At the end of the
That's
year.
what it is.
I think it's like September, October.
So here's the play, right? Because it doesn't make any sense for DC to basically just say, we're going to scrap all of this, but
October
still
21st.
making these movies. Because these movies work. It has its fan base.
Yeah, they're fun.
They're fun. I mean, we bag on it. We do. Justice League was a mess. And let's be honest, Zack Snyder's version of the Justice League was fun.
It was fun, but just really long.
Yeah.
It's long-winded.
Long-winded.
It really is. No,
But I'm not on that boat with most people who are saying it's a masterpiece. It's this and that. And it's
still
not. It's just a
It was
fun
still
movie.
very clunky.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that because I feel like Warner Brothers should have went the other way with it, and instead of going, we're gonna do these big blockbuster movies, we're just gonna amplify HBO Max.
That's
and
fine.
Instead of turning these into big blockbuster movies, we can turn these into high budget television.
Yeah.
And really, because honestly, if you watch Justice League like a 5-episode movie, I mean a 5-episode show,
Technically, it was.
and that's the way that Zack Snyder separated it, part 1 through 5.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been fine. Honestly, I think that would have been very digestible. If you would have
A
just
lot more
released
digestible.
it would have been so digestible. Even the cuts would have kept you in like little suspense, and you would have been like, "Oh man, what happens next?" And then you could have then done your other version of Justice League, that nightmare universe, and turned that into a show, and that would have been really awesome.
So
It's just a lot of really big names. It's a lot of really big names, and it's a lot of money. And Warner Brothers wants that MCU money, and the only problem is that they're really trying to skip a lot of steps instead in that MCU money.
go one step further and just say there's no producer. There's no head producer. Marvel has Kevin Feige. You point at him and say, this is the person responsible for doing everything.
Yeah, if anything goes wrong, you're like, dang, Feige really dropped that ball.
You look at Star Wars and you have Kathleen Kennedy,
Yes.
right? And now Kathleen Kennedy has, she's got her henchmen. She's got Favreau and she's got Filoni. We don't see those two names on there. Guess what? It's Kennedy's fault. We see Favreau and Filoni's name on there. We don't think of Kennedy. We think of them.
Well, that's the thing, though, is that when it comes to television, it's Favreau, Filoni. And then when it comes to movies, it's
Kennedy.
It's Kennedy.
Who does DC have?
It used to be Zack Snyder, because Zack Snyder was the one that was overlooking. See, the other thing that kind of was weird was when Zack Snyder used like the bubbles inside of Justice League, and then James Wan was like, "We're not using bubbles." Like, it really showed that there was a disconnect at the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody was talking to the Aquaman, production team, going, "Hey, how are you going to do this effect? What's going on here?" Or, "Hey, this is the effect that we're thinking of doing. What are you guys doing?"
The problem I see with Warner Brothers specifically, because this is it's not, we can look at DC and say like, oh, this and that and all this stuff. The main company, the distribution company is Warner Brothers. The way I see it, right, is that Warner Brothers got money hungry real fast. And the reason why Zack Snyder is the person to blame is because Man of Steel did so great. Superman fans are just as, I'm not going to say they're just as bad, but they're pretty, look. If you're going to talk about the fans of DC, who are the biggest talkers?
Batman.
No. Batman are not the biggest talkers.
Do you really get Superman?
Yes, the Superman fans are much worse. Superman fans are the fans that if you criticize Superman, they will hunt you down. Batman fans, they just don't shut up. It's like, oh, technically speaking, Batman can do this. Batman's the greatest superhero. Batman does that. All
Batman
these different
is the
things.
greatest superhero.
Yeah, exactly. But like, you guys don't argue more than that.
He can deduce Superman's identity just by his flight patterns.
But you guys have not argued more than that. You guys are just simply in agreement with that. And if no one likes it, fine.
Dude, have you actually seen that episode of the Batman where Batman is just like, oh yeah, there's a there's a satellite up in the air and it's meant to track high speed movement because it's for missiles. And then and then Robin goes, "What are you pointing it at Metropolis for?" And he goes, "Because it's tracking Superman. So we're gonna see his points of where he flies from." So then they go, "Oh, well, where does he fly from?" And they go, "The Daily Planet and in Clark Kent's apartment." They go.
And then Lois Lane's apartment.
Yeah, and
then goes back to his apartment, and then back to Lois Lane's. So for some reason, he's doubling back to Lois. Like,
no, and then literally, Clark Kent is like walking into his house. He drops his groceries, and then you see Bruce Wayne pick him up, and he's just like, "Oh man, thought I was lame." He's like, and then he goes like, "Oh, they really are the greatest detective. How'd you figure out who I was?" He's just like, "You fly everywhere, dumbass."
Dummy, why'd you do this? But that brings the question: is that right? Is that Batman fans tend to be that kind of like those type of people? Superman fans oversell that hero like crazy.
Well,
you ever talk to a Superman fan?
It's because Superman's a god.
Exactly.
Superman is
the greatest superhero of all time because he's America's hero and all this other stuff, and he can do everything that he wants to
First
do.
of all, he's an immigrant. He's an alien.
But he was also America's hero because historically he was used to promote
during
the war propaganda and stuff as well.
Yeah, didn't he also punch out Hitler? I think he punched out.
No,
Hitler.
That's Captain America.
I'm 90% sure he punched out Hitler too.
Let's see.
Did Superman punch Hitler?
He also lost a fight to Muhammad Ali.
What?
Yeah, Superman lost a fight to Muhammad Ali. They gave him blue, I think it's like red kryptonite, so that way he was healing.
I see.
And they went to a boxing match for charity, and then Muhammad Ali whooped him.
Funny. But yeah, I mean, Superman fans are those type of people. I don't care if I get people mad. It's true. Superman fans are.
I mean, he's taking down the Nazis.
Yeah, he's fighting.
Exactly. He's America's hero. So that ends up happening.
But
that's what I'm saying is that you have those people. So that's why Man of Steel, even though Man of Steel was okay, it was fine. You have your fans that are overhyping it, and that's where Zack Snyder's success came from. It didn't come from Justice League. It didn't come from Batman versus Superman. It came from Man of Steel.
In all fairness, I remember seeing when Man of Steel came out, and I remember they were really pushing Nolan in that movie. They weren't pushing Zack Snyder.
Christopher Nolan?
They were really pushing Christopher Nolan in those trailers.
But he was a producer.
He was an executive producer, but they were saying from the creative mind of the Dark Knight.
Well, yeah, but I mean Man
of Steel.
Doesn't mean that Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan was an executive producer. He probably had some creative process into it.
Dude,
Zack Snyder was the one.
He literally could have shown up for 5 minutes and looked at the script and gone, "Sorry."
That's how it.
And then they went, "Okay, cool. You're an executive producer now."
Yeah.
He that does not mean that he looked at the movie. It does not mean that he was there on the day.
But his success, that movie's success, is because of Zack Snyder, and that's where that came from.
I don't think so. I honestly do think that has the success of Batman. It's the success of The Dark Knight because they were pushing Nolan. They were saying that Nolan made a Batman movie.
What I'm saying is the reason why it's called the Snyderverse is because Zack Snyder's first film, Man of Steel, was what kind of captivated people into believing that universe exists because of Zack Snyder, which is fine. But when you're trying to move the project forward in that universe, DC does not want that association anymore. If they're going to try to work with it and kind of progress it, not having Ezra Miller or anything like that, you want to call it something different, the DCEU. And I can tell you that that's probably something that they're going to adopt within the next couple of months.
I'm going to be 100% with you. I still don't think that there's a good Superman movie out.
That's fine.
I really do not think
I don't disagree.
I think that's the best two Superman movies are probably Superman 1 and 2. That's it. The Donner.
Oh, Richard
Superman.
Donner.
Yeah, like Richard Donner Superman. In the last 20 years, in the last 40 years, I don't think anybody's made a good Superman movie because they always make him boring. Mm-hmm. Bryan Singer's Batman is literally boring. He doesn't do anything. And then Lex Luthor's big plan is a real estate scheme again.
Mm-hmm.
He got Donner and then just went let's just do it with nicer cameras.
Ooh, you have Bryan Singer and then Kevin Spacey in a movie.
Yeah.
I just now realized that.
Yeah,
wow.
Dude, they must have had fun together. That's a bad take.
No one brings up Bryan Singer.
Dude, Bryan Singer's a monster.
He is.
Bryan Singer is a monster.
He is a true monster.
But he goes to the Philippines and does it to immigrants, so nobody cares.
Oh my God.
So, I'm being hold on. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No,
I'm sorry. Am I wrong here? I'm sorry. Oh, wait, am I wrong? Is that not what he did?
You're fine. It's just
You know the dad from what is it, Beetlejuice?
Oh yeah, he's a weirdo.
Yeah, he's in jail right now. No, he's in jail right now for distributing child pornography.
Yeah, dude, I didn't know how to say it correctly.
Yeah,
I was like, he's
tread water.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to say something that's not factually correct.
That's why I just went, oh yeah, he's a weirdo.
You said 2 words. You said 2 like 3 1/3 pieces of word, and then it just came out as one.
Yeah, then I went weird, and then I landed on weirdo because I was like, I feel like that encompasses all of it.
So I saw this funny TikTok of a guy that's an artist, and he makes like the fast food mascots into monsters. And he's like, I don't know what to do for the Subway one, so he made like a sandwich that looks like a centipede monster. I said in the comments, I was like, you should just drone Jared because he is a monster in real life. Like,
just Jumbo Jared.
Yeah, just Jumbo Jared. Like,
that's messed up. But that's besides the point.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that I honestly do think that they don't know how to write Superman. And Zack Snyder doesn't understand Superman.
Yeah, because he wrote Man of Steel very awkwardly, at least when it came to his powers. He
tried to write him too human.
And then he tried to put in like, oh yeah, like I got to write a weakness for him, but I don't want to do kryptonite.
His weakness was his dad.
No, his weakness was air, because he was in the atmosphere, and it was like, oh yeah, he's not used to our world's atmosphere, so he's like all disoriented and he's all depowered. And I was like, really? Like he gets his power from the yellow sun, and
not only that, but also, I mean, it was one of those things of, because it's kind of like Zack Snyder didn't understand why superheroes in the DC universe don't kill. Like I feel like he just didn't understand that, and that's what really irritated a lot of people, because he had Superman kill Zod instead of putting him in the Phantom Zone.
He had Batman murder a bunch of people in a warehouse.
He had Batman murder a bunch of people, and he was just like, Christopher Nolan has Batman murder everybody.
Michael Keaton blew up some clown.
Yeah, like Michael Keaton blew up a clown, and it's like, yeah, but that was also, Tim Burton, and he's all like, and he's all like, he's like, Johnny Depp, and like that's just Tim Burton.
Who would he cast in a Batman movie for Johnny Depp? Yeah,
it's just Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp is Alfred.
Batman, what are you doing, Batman?
Batman, what are you doing, Batman? Oh,
I know you asked for tea, but I bring you rum.
But
I made you a burger pint.
Any last thoughts on Snyderverse DCEU stuff before we close up?
I personally think that they should step away from the Snyderverse. I think
they are.
And I'm looking forward to seeing kind of what they do with it. I think that everybody, it's really funny whenever people go like, yeah, I can't wait till that Flash movie, because then that's when the universe really starts. And
that's what they've been saying for the last like 5 to 6, 7 years.
But that's what I'm saying though, is that like it's really bad when you automatically needed to jump to multiverse. Like you had to jump to it because we screwed up so bad and we spent so much money, but we casted the right people and people love our casting. The only and like there's some properties that we still want to keep, but there's some properties we wish we didn't make.
It's difficult because the way I see it, right, is that you have a lot of actors who are playing these characters in comic books, but none of these actors really associate themselves with these characters like Marvel does. Chris Hemsworth, Thor. Yeah. Chris Evans, Captain America. Tom Holland, Spider-Man.
No, I think
Robert Downey Jr.
I think Momoa feels like he's Aquaman.
Out of how many other people? You have Jason Momoa, but do you really think that what's her name? Wonder Woman.
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot. You really think that she wants to categorize herself as a Wonder Woman?
Yeah, because that's a huge thing for her. That was like her first really big movie.
Yeah, that was her big break.
That was her big break.
That was her big break. Like no matter what, she will always be Wonder Woman. She's up there on.
I just don't think that she wants to keep that though, because didn't she also have a scandal where people were abusive to her or something like that, or harassed her?
Yeah, but that's also just being in a nerdy movie, because that's what nerds do to people that play actresses.
Well, it's dumb. But that's the thing, is that like
they're monsters.
You don't, because okay, I take that back. Gal Gadot has gone on interviews and basically said like, yeah, I'm Wonder Woman, right? Yeah, she has. Jason Momoa sells himself as Aquaman all the time, right? But Ben Affleck stepped away from it. Ezra Miller's gone. Cyborg, he's not going to be in there anymore.
Well, the problem, but that's not that wasn't.
That's not their fault.
That wasn't Fisher's fault.
No.
First off, that was Joss Whedon's fault, because Joss Whedon's a monster.
Yes, but what I'm saying is that the actors they're bringing in have not staked themselves as those characters because of those issues. So that's the problem that you have, is that even if you were to go multiverse, right, none of these actors or characters possibly have that will or interest to come back.
I have to admit, though, because I feel like Marvel fans are more open to seeing a performance.
Mm-hmm.
Because DC fans, as a DC fan myself, I feel like DC fans prejudge hard. Like, they really prejudge.
Well,
like,
they've been waiting.
But not even that. Like, look at Heath Ledger.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was like, oh, Heath Ledger got the Joker. And everybody was like, oh, the guy from Brokeback Mountain got Joker?
Mm-hmm. The pretty boy?
The pretty boy from Brokeback Mountain, he's going to be playing the Joker? That's ridiculous. That's so dumb. I don't know what they're thinking. How could they hire that guy? Mm-hmm. And then after the movie, everybody was like, that was a genius. That was genius. That was great.
And then
no one else can play the Joker.
Yeah, like nobody else can play the Joker except for Heath Ledger. I would hate to see the next person to play the Joker because they're going to do a terrible job.
Joaquin Phoenix.
No, because they're going to do a terrible job and have like
no,
you know,
but I mean,
tattoos on their hands and like be like, oh yeah, look at my mouth.
Joaquin Phoenix had, you know, when he got assigned or when he got to play the Joker, everyone didn't like him.
In all fairness, I think it was really funny because it was really mixed. Where a lot of people were like, "Oh, Joaquin Phoenix," and then everybody was like, "Oh, dude, Joaquin Phoenix."
He did a great job. The movie was
because
really
Joaquin Phoenix is an amazing actor.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be Doctor Strange, and then he was like, "No, I'm good."
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Could you imagine Joaquin Phoenix as Doctor Strange?
It'd be interesting, especially
It'd
the
be
way
weird,
in the multiverse of Met. Could you imagine Joaquin Phoenix trying to explain Dormammu?
I will say with Joaquin Phoenix, Benedict Cumberbatch plays a really good Doctor Strange because we get a very young, very snappy Doctor Strange, and I feel like Joaquin Phoenix wouldn't have done that. I feel like he would have been a more serious, more like in tune. We would have had the Supreme Sorcerer faster with Joaquin Phoenix.
I feel that. We get more of like kind of like the Illuminati.
Dude, if we get a multiverse movie, I really want to see Joaquin Phoenix as Doctor Strange. I just want one movie. Just one movie. Give me Dude, give me Joaquin Phoenix. He has like the grays and everything like that, and he's just like, whoa. Like, that would be so cool.
Multiverse.
And have his like beard with the glasses. That would be hilarious. I want that. Who doesn't want that?
It's true.
But for DC movies, I know they prejudge. And because honestly, for Batman, for Ben Affleck, dude, they didn't even give that dude a chance. Like, he did not have a chance.
No.
They brutally abused him online.
Yeah.
And he didn't, like, it was just it just sucked. And Ben Affleck does a really good job.
He does a really good job as Bruce Wayne and Batman. I liked it.
He's a good duo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he can do the Kevin Conroy thing of Batman feels like somebody and Bruce Wayne feels like a completely different person. Where like if somebody would go like Bruce Wayne is Batman, and then you would have been like, dude, you're high. Mm-hmm. Like you are smoking something like Bruce Wayne. Mm-hmm. Like, come on, man, that guy's banging, supermodels every night. You really think he's going outside wearing a bat cape? Like that makes no sense. Mm-hmm. Nobody would believe it.
It's the same reason that people didn't like Robert Pattinson because he was a good Batman, but he couldn't separate himself from Bruce Wayne. And it's like, well, he technically wasn't because it's year one.
Yeah, but that's part of the movie.
Yeah, that's part of the whole reason. I don't know, man. Time will tell what Warner Brothers is going to do. I want to have hope because, yeah, DC is an interesting concept to try to push out there and to give us something good. It's just Warner Brothers needs to understand, okay, sorry, that's going to sound stupid, telling a business not to make money, but that's the honest truth. Stop. Just don't think about the money. The money will come if you actually just take your time to make something.
I'm not going to lie. Keep doing these art house movies. Stop trying to make a universe. Just make art house movies.
Yeah,
just go and just make one-offs. And just keep on making one-offs. Make one-offs. Then Justice League. Do another Justice League movie, but it's Infinite Crisis. And then you have all of these one-offs connect.
It's funny because I feel like that's basically what they wanted to do with the Flash movie.
Yeah.
As for Miller's Straw.
Yeah, like bring in Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, bring in Robert Pattinson's Batman, bring in all these different characters. I want to see a Superman movie where Superman does some saving. I want to see him where he is the symbol of peace. I would love that. I would love to see Superman be Superman instead of just this mopey dude who's like, I'm just alone.
Yeah.
I'm alone and
no one loves me.
No one loves me
No one
except
understands
for my mom.
My farm mom.
Yeah, my farm
My
mom.
dad's dead. Both my dads.
Yeah, both dads.
And my real mom.
But the thing is that what's
All
funny?
I have is crypto. But he's not even here because Zack Snyder didn't want to put him in there.
Dude, that would have been so funny with Crypto. Like, could you imagine fighting Darkseid and then Crypto like ripping off his face?
And then Darkseid grabs Crypto and breaks his neck. I Am Legend style.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I'm not gonna lie.
it.
That'd be dope. Like, could you imagine Crypto jumping at his face and then he grabs him by the mouth and he just like Omega beams inside of him? And then just like splits him in half. And then just splits him in half, and he's just like, and then you see like Zack Snyder in the corner. Minute.
Metal.
All right, let's wrap up this issue because Rene, you're losing energy, bro. Yeah. All right, so let's wrap up this issue. Go ahead and check out our website at keepingitwiththenerds.com for all the up-to-date information. Find us on YouTube and anywhere you get your podcast on any audio platform. Real quick shout out. I'm going to shout out the Super Mazer Bros real quick. They've been doing some pretty... What are you doing?
What did they do?
What did they do?
Apologize to Lewis right now.
Hey, Lewis. I love you. I know you're in the shower right now. Stop touching yourself.
You don't need that much soap.
Nicole can hear you. Everyone can hear you.
Tell her.
You're so loud right now.
Yeah. Be more discreet.
Okay. Anyways, why am I talking about the Super Mazer Bros? They're releasing some pretty cool stuff. They just did a big drop. I don't know if that's going to be going on by the time this issue releases, but go check them out. They're dropping some really good stuff. They've been putting out some really great artwork. They have a website.
Star Wars pins are sick.
They're sick. Yeah,
Those
they're
were pretty
super
The
sick.
Charmander Darth Vader ones.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
I
So
like
go
that
check them out at supermazerbros.com, I think is what it is.
Yes.
Yeah, go check them out. They have a bunch of stickers with a bunch of great designs with different combinations of Pokemon characters and other characters from different video game franchises. Really great artwork. I've been seeing a lot of their stuff and they've been growing pretty big. Go check them out, guys. With that said, are we ready to wrap up this issue?
Yes.
All right, take it away.
This has been Keeping Up with the Nerds, issue 108. My name is Rene.
This is Brian.
Signing off from Undercity Comics. We all see you all next time.